Hello, this is a little video showing how to make brass spokes for model wheels. I've got a few examples in here and we're going to see these. As we see these brass spokes, we've got a spoke and then a little nipple kind of end at the end, right? This is a jig used to hold the wheel down in place so it doesn't move on you laterally, and you keep the spokes centered. I've made just a special screw, custom screw to hold the thing down. You can do that with a nut and a washer just as easily. You can see me screwing this down, sort of screwing one side of this wheel. This one is a weird wheel because it actually has a tire still on it. Usually you just have the rim. I have to deke that tire out, and I didn't want to cut that off, so it's a little bit of a weird one. We'll see some others where there's just the rim. Here I am drilling the hub, and you can see I've got the center line marked in black, and then two spokes. One's higher and one's lower, so we've got kind of a crossover of those two, so one's a higher level and one's a lower level. I'm going to put this on, and we're just going to show you how we tighten this down into the jig. Super easy, right? You're just tightening it down and it just screws down. That way it holds that in place. This is for the one that has the actual hub on it, right? And you can see I still have the plastic spokes in there, and I'm using those as a guide, right? I've cut them out of the wheel. You can see I've marked it black. There we are. We're holding it down with double-sided tape from 3M. Works great. I just put it in the four corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I showed that. And we're going to show this. Hi, Scott. Yeah, we're going to show putting this into the center. So we've got that hub in there. We've got our holes drilled. I've drilled the holes on the wheel as well. So I've got all the holes drilled. There's our 3M tape. We've got it in 4 areas. You can just see it kind of shiny there. And I'm going to measure this, and I make sure I keep it in the center. I put a dot in blue on the ruler, so I don't even have to look at the numbers. Just pop it in there, make sure it's in the middle. And so I'll mess around here and get it eventually in the center as I kind of get it off center a little bit. That's really important because you don't want one side of spokes looking longer than the other side is shorter. And just like tightening nuts, you want to do this in kind of a star pattern. So you want to do one spoke on one side and then maybe across from the other side. So you need to really keep your order well. And I've got it marked, and we'll see that in another part of the video where I actually kind of show where I've marked which spokes go where. So centering this up, super boring. Get it? Yeah, I'm all happy. Hey, Scott. Okay, push that in. We've got that down. All right, so there's holes on the hub. There's holes on the rim. And we're ready to start spoking in a second here. The spokes we're using are 0.5 millimeters brass. And then the little nub parts are 1 millimeter. That's what those two measurements are. And here I'm going to cut those little nubs. So, hi Scott again. Yes, I've got one nub that I like the length of, so I'm going to use that as my demo one. Yes, here. See, I'm showing the nipples or nubs or whatever the heck you want to call them. And we're going to cut them. They're just completely random. I think mine were 3 millimeters or 4 millimeters. 3 millimeters? Whatever, Scott. I don't know. Whatever it was. So I'm going to knock it off the little thing there. That's again, you little son of a... Get that thing, and we're going to do 3 millimeters. Yeah, that one looks like 3 millimeters. So get it. And when you're cutting brass, you can use a sharp X-Acto, make a mark, and then roll it. So we got a lot of rolling going on here. So let's see what I've made. There's my 3 millimeters. I'm going to roll it. Just start it, and I'm going to get it off this metal because it's better on the rubber mat. And I just roll it, and it'll just pop. Sometimes it pops all across the room, but it pops. So there, I've got one, and I'm happy with the length, I think. Remeasuring. And I've got to make 24 of those. Yeah. Do 4. Yes, do 4. Very good. 24. I use a root canal file from dentistry that helps keep the 1 millimeter nipple part patent for its hole. So I just run that through. I think I do that in this video here. Yeah, I'm going to clean the ends off, right? Because you'll get little burrs and stuff like that from cutting. So I'm going to file the edges off here and get that kind of nice and level and flat, and make sure it's even and smooth, and then I'll run that root canal file in from both ends, measuring and checking, in from both ends, and we'll keep the center part patent so we can get our spoke through that. So we'll see that. Yeah, here we go. Right, I'm going to thread the needle here. See if I can stab myself. No, I didn't. And thread. Yay! And we're threading it. This is a tapered file, so it's narrow at the tip and wider at the top, and just to go to get a bit of resistance and give it a little turn. There we go. Right, so that one's good. And then you can see I was storing them in a little plastic container so I don't fling them all over the bloody place and lose them, because I've lost a lot. There's probably a lot in the nooks and crannies of this room. There's both ends, and then we're going to double check that our brass spoke goes through there, and hallelujah, it works, and he's happy. Good, he's happy. There we go. Yeah, okay, we see it. Yeah, let's get going here, Val. Stick this thing through there. Yes, we see it. Okay, great. Now we're going to test it. So we've got to go through the hole in the rim. Oh, sorry. I've marked it. Yes, I've marked... Oh, sorry. I've marked every second hole on the rim with a black marker. So I know that those are going to go one direction, and then every other one's going to go the opposite direction to give us that crossover. Okay, you can see that in the bottom left, how they cross over. Right? I'm just making sure everything's patent here and open, because this plastic's Revell plastic, it's kind of crappy and it clogs up on you quite a bit. So using that root canal file again. So here we're going to thread this through the hole in the rim, and we're going to go find the right matching one. You can use the other plastic wheel or the spokes to kind of guide you on the pattern of how that goes. That's really important. Once you get the pattern, it's super easy, but you screw up the pattern, woo, you're hooped. It looks so weird. So you got to kind of keep things organized, right? So I'm probably going, I think it looks like I'm going into the bottom of the hole on the hub in the middle. And so every other one goes through there and into the bottom hole. Right? Way to block your hand. Okay, so we'll get this in here eventually. Test fitting. This is a weird one, right? Because I've got that stupid wheel in the way. Usually you just have a hub and you'd be able to go right straight and cross horizontally, but I've got to do a little dip here. Great. Okay, I've just put on the nub. See the nub there, just almost out of the picture. Right? It's slopping around a little bit. So now we're going to CA glue, cyanoacrylate glue this into place eventually when he's happy. Come on, get happy. Okay, he's happy. He's going to measure again. So we're just going to measure that I haven't messed it up already. Good job. Keep everything in the middle. Keep all of them the same length. I don't cut the spokes yet, right? I have the spoke longer. Here's some CA glue. Yeah, they all know what CA glue is. This is the bottle I keep like that on my desk all the time. I don't put it away. I don't put on the ceiling cap. It's been there probably a year. It's getting a little thicker, but it's actually still pretty good like that. So. And it's a super cheapie from Amazon, I think it was. That was one of the tests we did on the forum about just leaving your CA glue basically open, but it's got a very small opening. And usually that opening kind of seals off and tips. And see, I'll pop it into a little flask over there. That's where that thing sits, just like that. Okay, let's get a little glue looper carrier so we can be a bit accurate with this stuff. Yes, there's a glue looper. And we're going to pick up a little CA glue. We're going to glue. So we're going to glue the spoke end in first, making sure we don't get any in on where the nipple part is. I'm going to move it away. Good job, Scott. Yeah, move it away. Yeah, there we go. And we get a little tweezers, and we're going to squish that into the hole. And then we're going to get a bit more glue, and we're going to get the nipply part put in there, glued up. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, we can't see anything now. Awesome, thank you. Can you move it back? There we go. Jackhole. There we go. And now we've got the nipple part glued on. Good. One more bit of glue, and we're going to glue the back end of the spoke on the inside of the rim. Awesome. And in a second, we're going to hit it with a little bit of kicker. I hate the smell of kicker, so I do not spray it because it drives me crazy. So I unscrew it, take it from that end, and I boink, 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 and I put little blips of it on. I just find that works for me. So you can spray it all you want. And then we're going to snip off the end of the spoke, and that's how we get our length. One done. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's one. So now what I'd really like to do is do one of the opposite ones across. It looks like I'm going to do them. I'm talking about doing 4, so I stabilize everything, right? So there I did 4. So I probably did the one across opposite, so I get that measurements, and then did another one across that. And so I'm kind of doing like that star pattern, right? And that keeps everything in the middle. Yeah, in the middle. I think that's the official language of in the middle. All right, what are we doing now? I'm waving. Hello. Oh, I did 12, so I've done 12. So there's the first layer, all going the same direction, all from that black line. Yes, okay. So now we're going to go the opposite direction with the second one. It goes into the other hole. So see, it's going to tilt the other way. And we're going to get that in. I've got to do a little bendy magic here. Messing around with it. Find the hole. Right, and it crosses over. See how it crosses over? Yeah, good. Right, yeah, yes. Yeah, they get it. Okay, stop pulling. Okay, Okay, and then I've got, oh, I did it there. And then magically they're done. And so it was the same process, right? Putting the nipple on, then getting the spoke in and gluing the nipple in as well. We're undoing things, and we've got one side done. Right, the wheel split in half, so we've got one side of the wheel done here. Undoing. It is my undoing. And there we are. All right, so that's done. That's one side of it done. Right, and then I do the back side, and you can see, so there's like two, right? There's one for the hub from the front side and one for the back side. And this is how it turns out for the Baron Von craziness here. Not too bad. This one's a little more traditional look. This is a motorcycle wheel, and we've got just the rim, right? So just the rim. I drilled the holes using that guide, and this I did an odd even in there instead of a whatever I did on the other one. And that's how they turned out on that Husqvarna. That was pretty cool. Again, another one. Here's the plastic rim. This is a Black Shadow, a Revell kit, and you can see that. That's a heck of a rim. And we're doing exactly the same process, right? Just exactly the same process. And they come out just beautifully. I would do this all the time. So anyways, I hope that helps a little bit. Here's Piper saying goodbye, and she is super bored and me blabbing. So I will sign off. Aloha.